Hi, hello, this is Kaz Risk, and welcome back to Koppai Podcast, episode 36. I am one of your hosts, Kaz Risk, joined alongside Mr. Koppai himself, Zach Risk.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm glad to have you here in our nice, comfy studio. Koppai Studio is located on 3838 Marriott Street in Seattle. Yep.
Seattle?
That's where Nintendo's at.
Oh, that is? That's the actual address?
No, I just made it. I completely 100% on the spot right now made up 3838 Marriott Street.
Oh, okay.
Don't even know if that's a real thing. As always, we've got another good one for you today, folks. Our best episode
I'm sure it is.
yet. I bet someone just put it in their maps.
One day in the
maps
future,
right
that's going to be the Koppai headquarters. Like,
we'll just
now...
make a street. I should have picked a lower number because now we have to find like 3838. We'll have to wait for that to be an actual street. I would love to have a Koppai Studios one day, though.
We're going to have it.
Yeah, in Seattle, it would also be super legit. Seattle, I wouldn't mind moving to Seattle. It'd be a
when
little...
when Bill's on the show, I think that we'll be in a Koppai studio, probably there in, like, Seattle.
Yeah, we'll just have him
at
down.
3838 Marriott.
Or there's, like, if we go, like, to Northern California, then we're right in between Seattle and San Francisco, so like we can just hop up to Nintendo if we need to go down there, or San Francisco. Everyone goes down to San Francisco for stuff. So
yeah, we'd be like down there. We'd be between like the two major echelons of like the spiral of gaming culture.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like,
and
that's
Pixar Studios up north in California. So
I would love to go to Pixar Studios and check out that place.
Yeah, that'd be.
We watched Secret Life of Pets last night, and like. Is
that Pixar?
No, it's the people that make like
Despicable
Minions
Me.
and Despicable Me. Yeah,
Minions is so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen Minions yet. We own it, but we haven't watched it yet. And Kayla really wants it because she loves Minions. But I was really not too excited about seeing Secret Life of Pets. From like the trailers I saw, I liked like Zootopia a lot, but Secret Life of Pets. It had a lot of silly moments. I thought it was better than I thought it was going to be. But I was mostly like super entranced just because the CGI and the computer animation.
Oh, Minions is that way too. Minions is just a visual treat. I saw Minions in theaters and it was just whoo, doctor.
I know, they're just getting so crazy with what they can do now.
I'm super excited. I watched, what is it, like Moana or some sort of like a Hawaiian movie coming out from the people that made Frozen. And so like they like water and all those particle effects down, and they're coming out with a new Hawaiian movie. And that looks like I watched a behind the scenes clip on how they make the water in that movie, and it looks so good. The only thing I don't like is
the same thing. Sorry.
Well, it's like this whole like the water flows through you sort of storyline. I'm like, I don't know if I really want that. Like, I just want a little less serious and stuff. But it looked pretty quirky. Has Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it.
There's a scene in Secret Life of Pets where they're like out in the water a lot, and I was blown away. It seemed like it was really fooling my eyes. I couldn't tell if they like went and actually filmed like real water.
Well, yeah, Frozen starts off that way too. It's like it cuts your eyeballs open with how sharp the water is, and the ice cubes they're making. Like they're just showing off at that point. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Koppai.
Yeah, we are an all Nintendo podcast. In case you thought for some reason we were a Pixar podcast, no, we're all Nintendo that posts each and every week, usually on youtube.com/Koppai Gaming, as well as SoundCloud and iTunes, and now on Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, Pocket Casts. I've been loving that app for listening to my podcast, and other various podcast services as Koppai Podcast. Search for Koppai Podcast. For some reason, if you search for Nintendo, we don't pop up. I need to fix that. I've tried to fix it. I've added Nintendo to the tags of our RSS feed for podcast services. If you search for Nintendo on these podcast services, you don't see Koppai, which kind of sucks because imagine how many people are like, oh, I want to listen to a Nintendo podcast. Unless they know to listen to Koppai, they have no idea. So we need to fix that. So that leaves it in the job of the listener to share us with people. Or tweet at us or email at us, kopaipodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's pretty painful. That hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts the Koppai heart.
Yeah. No. Each week we discuss the games we're playing in a segment called Play and Tell, as well as the Nintendo news in a segment called the Nintendo Pipeline. We then jump into the topic of the show and round everything out with Pokemon discussion and a fun game of Nintendo 20 questions. So that's going to be a fun one It's going to be great. Today's topic of the show is the latest news on Super Mario Run for the iPhone and the upcoming Android devices, and Nintendo's push on a mobile, with the NX being a mobile device probably, and then all of their iPhone games coming out. Plus, where is the Nintendo NX? All of that and more. It's going to be a great episode. I'm super pumped. I'm not wearing any pants.
Me neither.
Let's start off the show with a little bit of play and tell. If you want to engage in the conversation, be sure to comment down below with what you've been playing. And if you're listening to this snippet, you can listen to the whole show on youtube.com/Koppai Gaming, as well as iTunes, SoundCloud, and more by searching for Koppai Podcast. Zach, you haven't really had much time to play anything because you've been so busy researching Syria and the catastrophes happening over there. You've been distracted.
I have been distracted.
And you've been doing school. You're going to your ceramics class, and you're making ceramas.
Yes.
Ceramas? That's what you make in
ceramics.
Ceramics.
Ceramicses. Indeed.
And so you've been busy with school. Last week, I was out of town. That's why we didn't have an episode last week. And because there's just no freaking news, because Nintendo's not sharing anything. They're just like, all right, you can make it up for yourself. And so it's been a little bit of a lull. I think you're being bashful. You're saying, I haven't played anything this past week. But between the last episode, you have done, I think you hopped back into Fallout for a bit. We talked about that briefly in the last episode in our preparation for Nuka World. I know you've been doing like some Rocket League and yada yada yada. So you haven't been completely without, but nothing like new and noteworthy necessarily to share.
Yeah.
I've been waist deep, knee deep, chin deep, probably about belly button depth in Destiny, the Taken King, as it leads into Destiny, the Rise of Iron, or just Rise of Iron. And that comes out, if you're listening to this on Monday, it comes out tomorrow. If you're listening to this on Tuesday, which I'm hoping to get it posted by Monday, but maybe you can post it on Tuesday, I don't know. Then the game is out. Super duper hype, at least for me. You're not much of a Destiny-er yourself. No. You were for a little bit, but it's tricky to get into, especially the vanilla version. Taken King, I think you should hop into. The story of the Taken King is so good, and the cinematics are breathtaking.
Yeah, I need to check it out. I've seen some of the things, and it seems like, definitely once you get deeper into it, it starts to pay off in a lot of ways.
It's crazy.
You have to actually put in the time and get in there.
I'm doing half preparation for Rise of Iron, half trophy hunting. And so there's a trophy for maxing out a hunter, a titan, a warlock character. Like a trophy for each different class. And so I've always been playing as my titan, but now I'm trying to level up a hunter. And so I went back through the whole story to level up another character. And through going through the story, it's crazy. I played through the vanilla version, and then you complete the vanilla story, and then the Taken King starts. And all of those complaints about story and about how convoluted it was and how it was mainly told just like in the loading screens and stuff and not too much in the actual levels. Like the Taken King immediately remedies that. And the Taken King starts off with like a 5-minute cinematic like getting you set into this universe. And then every mission is just one epic story piece after another. And Taken King is just a complete 180 pivot shift away from the original version. So if you haven't played Destiny since the original, get the collection on this Tuesday. It comes with every single game for $60, I think. So awesome deal when the Taken King itself was like $40 and all the DLC's been like $20 each. And the original game was $60. Like you're just getting so much of it off. And you're getting Rise of Iron, which itself is like $30. So... you're basically getting so much for free. So I'm getting super excited for that. I think Rise of Iron is going to be great. I never have enough people to play the raid with, which leads me into the next game I've been playing. You may see it in the thumbnail in the background if you're watching on YouTube. I've also been playing tons, actually not really, of Triforce Heroes. I was back home this past weekend visiting home and the in-laws, and my wife's brothers, my wife's little brother has a 2DS now because of the 2DS I got her. He saw that, loved it, got himself one. He's been loving it, been playing lots of Mario Kart. But he also got Animal Crossing, and then we did download play with Triforce Heroes. And then her other brother used her 2DS, and so the three of us had a full squad. and we did like 5 different puzzles in Triforce Heroes, and it was so fun.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I was like the ringleader because I know like how to play Zelda games and stuff. Her little brother plays quite a few games, so like he kind of knew like the gist of what to do. And then her older brother's in college, so he's, just kind of capable of just figuring things out, just use your brain. And so we were all pretty well equipped, but it was also interesting to see like the different levels of familiarity we had with video games and all trying to communicate. Thankfully, we were all in the same room, so we were just yelling at each other like, yo, you need to pick me up and turn me around and shoot me that way. But we also had a few months where we were killing each other, and it reminded me once again a lot of Super Mario 3D World, where you're supposed to be working together, but you're actually just killing each other and throwing each other off cliffs. But then you're like, oh crap, we actually are losing the level, so we need to work together here. And I thought it was an absolute blast. It makes me actually kind of want to try just to go ahead and play it online with rando people, because I feel like even though that would make it super difficult, I think that would add a level of charm to it. And so
yeah, that could actually. Because that's what they say is some of the complaints with these games, like when they put Mario Party on the 3DS.
Or even going back to Destiny, like the big thing with Destiny is people want matchmaking for the raids and for the higher level stuff. Right. And the guy that does the community management for Destiny is like, do you realize how much that would suck to be doing these high level, like intricate co-op levels, and you can't talk to these other people, you don't know who they are, you don't know if they have to leave for dinner, like in 30 minutes, like you don't know them at all. Like, it's best to communicate with your friends and stuff, but then it would be nice to at least have the option to just go for it and take the risk of playing with people that have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the option should be there. But yeah, a lot of people do complain about that, though. Like Federation Force, it's been said that, yeah, when you're playing it in a room with a lot of people around and you're all having a good time, or like in a voice chat or something like that, it can be really fun, but when you're playing online, like you really need in some of these games that communication, and some of those things can be really detrimental. It's nice though that at least Nintendo does put that option available. I think that it's like, why not? At least if somebody wants to make that choice, but
they need to have though. I think Destiny has the looking for group website where you can put in like a little note like, I'm looking for a group to play for 2 hours tonight, and I have a headset. They need one of those for Triforce Heroes, because then you and I could get on that and just find one other person and make a new friend. But oh well. Yeah. But super fun though. I'm excited to get back into it. It may be one of those games that I only play when I'm back home and get to play with them. In which case, I don't mind. Like that's the nice structure of it. It's just a few puzzles every now and then. We just make progress. Yeah. And so I got a lot of bonus coins for playing with friends. It was like, thanks for playing with someone. Here's all these bonus things. I'm like, ha 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 ha. And so, that was good. I also played a little bit of Pac-Man 256. Not much to say about that. It was fun. I heard a lot about it, and it was on sale for like $2. Yeah. So, I had some fun money, so I got that.
And that was on PS4?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't you play that a lot? Or was it Championship Edition?
I played Championship Edition.
Oh.
I got 100% in that.
Okay.
And the new one comes out, Championship Edition, like 2 or something, really soon, and that, I guess, is supposed to be really great. And I loved Championship Edition.
Yeah, well, I heard you rave about Championship Edition. For some reason, I thought it was Pac-Man 256, so I got that right away, and I'm like, this is fun, but it's not like something to write home about. I don't know why.
Yeah, Championship Edition is just like a pure celebration and just like really crazy chains and combos that kind of feel good, but also it gets intricate as you go along. So, but it's just fun and it's got that addicting nature. I thought it was actually like a perfect evolution of Pac-Man that wasn't like the original, but seemed like a modern, fun, fresh take. And so I'm actually really excited. I haven't really looked into the second one.
The sequel. I think that comes out like it's either out or it's coming out like very soon.
Yep.
So super exciting. Yeah, those are the games I'm playing. Let us know down below your thoughts on multiplayer games, matchmaking, things like Triforce Heroes and Destiny. Are you picking up Rise of Iron? Have you been playing since it went live at 4 a.m.? I don't know, or it's like 2 a.m. or something is when the servers officially like switch and update to Rise of Iron. Really cool build up to it right now. There's like this infection going on that if you play in the Crucible, the multiplayer mode, some people like have this infection that they got from a level. And people are trying to figure out what it means. Like, it's spreading around to people. And people think that when Rise of Iron comes out on Tuesday, there's going to be, like, this big story thing to relate to people's infections. And so, I'm not infected yet. but because I'm not playing online. But it's just stuff like that they go beyond the fourth wall of the gaming world and kind of communicate with people and stuff on Reddit. I like when a developer does that. All of that makes me hope that I want to close out this play and tell. I've been really digging the shooter genre lately with Destiny, and it makes me actually pretty excited for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare coming up. I've been watching all those trailers. Jon Snow is in it. They just showed the latest trailer. Pardon me, with Jon Snow and something like that. Activision, like say what you will about Activision, how much they do microtransactions, but they put a lot of money into their shooters, and they're always top freaking notch. Makes me super excited for that, and super excited for a Metroid game, which we'll talk about next in the Nintendo Pipeline. So if you're listening just to the snippet, be sure to tune in Nintendo Pipeline.